In my youth, men were told, keep your powder dry, trust in Providence. Now, they're told to keep their hands clean, trust in the Department of Assurance. We built this magnificent new religion, not on faith, but a precaution. Its commandments are simple. Thou shalt buckle, ensure, sanitize, encrypt, double click, I agree, and consult your doctor before doing anything resembling joy. The priests of this new church wear lanyards, not robes, and speak in PowerPoint tongue. They promise salvation through compliance, deliverance through regulation, and eternal life through ergonomic seating. We have forgotten that danger was once called adventure. Now it's called liability. Every field once tilled by courage is now patrolled by risk management. Children no longer climb trees. They log into Nature Sim, where the bark is smooth and the branches never break. Citizens no longer think, they subscribe to newsletters about thinking. No one gets lost anymore, and no one finds themselves either. When we demanded safety, we did not mean helmets and handrails, we meant certainty. That cruel, cruel mirage. We wanted life to come with a warranty, and when it didn't, we called it unfair and filed a complaint with the heavens. Now, we're so secure that we live in fear of losing that security. We lock our doors, our hearts, and our minds, triple deadbolted, and then wonder why we feel imprisoned. We built castles so well fortified that the drawbridge rested in the upright position. No one can get in, and worse, we cannot get out. The ancients had their gladiators, their storms, their gods of war and harvest. We have subscription renewals and data breaches. Our monsters live in the Wi Fi router. Once the brave man faced the tiger. Now he faces the "Are you sure you want to proceed" button and clicks cancel. And yet, somewhere in the human soul, a faint ember still burns. The yearning to do something uncertain, risky, even uncomfortable. To tend the patch of earth within reach, knowing a storm might come. To live not under the fluorescent light of perpetual caution, but under the honest sun, with dirt under our nails and wind in our faces. Because you see, security may keep the wolf from the door, but it also keeps you from the woods. And that's where living is. It's been said it's wise and prudent to tend to the parts of your garden you can touch. And I get it. We crave certainty, safety, security, and predictability, but life by design refuses to give those guarantees. The only ground we truly own is the patch which is beneath our feet. We own our habits, our thoughts, and our responses. When the winds pick up, we can panic and shout at the weather, or we can tend to the parts of our garden we can touch. We can pull the weeds, mend the fence, water what is still growing. We need to control the controllables in our lives. We need to position ourselves for success. We have to recognize we human beings have a desire for certainty that is more human than most anything else. We have to notice that uncertainty carries with it discomfort, which is a purely and wonderfully natural thing. And then we must keep doing what must be done in service of what matters, because safety and security are temporary, but character and competence, those are permanent. Have you ever thought about what the difference between safety and security are? They're pretty close, pretty similar, but they're not the same. Briefly, safety is the protection from accidents, and security is protection from intentional harm. But there's a lot of value in understanding what the overlap is. Security means defense against deliberate threats. Somebody intends to cause you harm, gain advantage, or exploit a weakness, like when a burglar tries to break into your house, or some kind of a hacker steals your identity, a government restricting your freedoms, a competitor undercutting your business. Whereas security, that really focuses on deterrence, control, surveillance, access limits, and enforcements. So, is it wise to prepare for worst case kind of intentionality? And that's what security is really about. Who might harm me? Why? And how do I stop them? from a safety perspective, that is protection from unintentional harm. There's not a malicious actor or that wolf at the door. It's just risk, environmental, the reason we have seatbelts, smoke alarms, we childproof medicine bottles, we have OSHA workplace guidelines, we've got labels on our food, guide rails on the highways. Safety is focused on preventing accidents. It's reducing the amount of risk that we take on, and it's designing systems that account for human error. What we're trying to do is create predictable, stable environments. It's about how to minimize harm from chance, chaos, or mistakes. So where is that overlap? Well, they're both designed to reduce harm, both require prevention. There have to be systems and rules and resources in order to it's contingent upon that. And both depend on people doing the right thing and doing those consistently. So the deeper layer to that is emotionally, safety and security are triggering the same response. That is, I want things to feel okay. But psychological roots are different. Safety is about the fear of being vulnerable, and security is about the fear of predators. One is about making the chaotic world less chaotic, the other about making the dangerous world less dangerous. So, when people say they want more safety, they usually mean protect me from accidents, uncertainty, and entropy. When people say they want more security, they mean protect me from other people. But in modern culture, especially with rising collectivist impulses and the desire for certainty, people blend the two and start expecting. We're now expecting the government to remove all forms of danger, intentional or accidental. And that's where we slide into paternalism, soft authoritarianism. What about you and I? Well, I think that safety can be outsourced, security can be outsourced also, but resilience cannot be. The strongest, most sovereign individual is both safe and secure, not because the world provides it, but because they do. What we're trying to do is control the controllables. We're trying to position ourselves for success. We're trying to recognize our desire for certainty, safety, and security, and notice when we're feeling anxious and uncomfortable, and then keep doing what must be done in service of what really matters. You think about what it takes to find real safety and security. And essentially, we're talking about peace of mind. So there are no guarantees, but there are those probablys. And it's my belief and my plea to stop looking for answers outside of yourself, outside of ourselves, and do what must be done to make ourselves, to make yourself the strongest possible version of you. And I mean strong from a physical standpoint. I mean strong from a financial standpoint. I mean strong from an emotional standpoint. I mean strong from a mental standpoint. There's always opportunity to be increasing these muscles. And when we do that, we're proving to ourselves that we're capable of recognizing I need to close this shortfall. If I'm not physically healthy, what do I need to do to become physically healthy? And then to start executing on that. If I'm not financially in a good position, well, okay, what do I need to do? I need to pay off some credit card debt. I need to get some money saved up in an emergency fund. I need to start saving and investing. I need to make plans for the future that I want. So you think about those things and you actually implement and begin executing. Same thing with health, same thing with your mental abilities and acuities, everything. Decide what you want, recognize if there's a gap there, figure out what needs to happen to close that gap, and then start doing those things. And what you'll find is you'll stop looking quite as much outside of yourself for solutions and realize that most of the answers that you're looking for, most of the security that's actually real and lasting and permanent is going to become or going to come from your efforts. That's where you're going to find it. That's where you're going to find safe and sound. That's where you're going to find peace of mind. Do your part by doing your best.